We're pleased to have you join us for the 2020 Secretaries Award Ceremony. Our MCs for today's ceremony are Region 1 Regional Counsel Minyard Culpepper, Region 4 Administrator Denise Cleveland Leggett, and Region 3 Administrator Joseph D. Felice. Please help us welcome Mr. Joe D. Felice.
Hi, everybody. Joe D. Felice, Regional Administrator of HUD Mid-Atlantic. That's Region 3. I'm coming up on 3 years at HUD, and I'm so excited to be here with all of you today. So once again, welcome to the Secretaries Awards. This ceremony will be a virtual presentation, so that it's a pleasure to be here today and assist in delivering the first ever virtual Secretaries Awards ceremony. We have an outstanding team that has continued to deliver our mission and strive under the new normal. Thank you to all the men and women at HUD, and keep up the great work. Before we begin, let us welcome the Office of Housing and Urban Development's Deputy Secretary, Brian Montgomery.
Well, thank you, Joe D. Felice, for that kind introduction. It's my pleasure to welcome everyone and to join all of you for this exciting event. We are coming together during an extraordinary time, a period of great adversity. We are delighted to recognize a number of our fellow employees who have excelled in meeting the mission of the department and/or their office, especially given the circumstances and unique challenges we're all facing. These employees have set a standard for each of us to emulate. They have earned our admiration and respect for what they do, how they go about their work, and most important, who they are as individuals. As a top agency official, Secretary Carson recognizes fellow HUD employees who demonstrate outstanding performance and outstanding accomplishments that have helped improve our communities across the country. Well, today we are honoring 155 employees over 7 different categories. These awards are given to 9 HUD teams and 22 individuals. The categories are National Disaster Distinguished Service, Exceptional Field Operations, Distinguished Service, Employee of the Year, Engagement, Outstanding Leadership, and the Secretary's Award for Excellence. But we are eager to get started. I personally want to thank our award recipients, this exceptional group who are all valued members of our HUD team. We are fortunate and grateful to be able to work with each and every one of you. I know our Secretary shares the enthusiasm of this day, the opportunity to recognize our team during challenging times when so many have gone above and beyond to ensure our mission. Secretary Carson has himself set a standard for integrity and leadership. As the first physician to ever lead our agency, we're very proud, long before the coronavirus arrived, that he has been a champion of the connection between health and housing. We are honored by the role he continues to play in helping to lead our country through this pandemic. So, it is now my pleasure to introduce the 17th Secretary of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, Secretary Ben Carson.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Secretaries Awards. Particularly during this challenging time of the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm pleased to join you today for a celebration of the great work done each and every day by our team here at HUD. Today's event honors the men and women who have demonstrated an exemplary dedication to their work each and every day. These individuals have inspired us all with their commitment to our mission, ensuring that all Americans have access to fair, affordable housing and the opportunity to achieve self-sufficiency. I want to commend each of you for your service to the American people. You are the driving force of our mission here at HUD and are responsible for bringing safe, affordable housing to those Americans who need these services the most. Thank you for all you do. Over the past 6 months, the COVID-19 pandemic has impacted our nation in many ways. This challenge has especially highlighted the importance of ensuring stable housing for all Americans. And in many cases, you have been the ones at the forefront of that fight. And our recovery efforts are just beginning. Your continued hard work and dedication in helping America pull through this crisis will be felt far and wide for years to come. And at the end of the day, we want to lend a helping hand to those who need it most. We want to restore the American dream for the most vulnerable families in our communities. And you all are crucial in achieving that goal.
Thank you, Secretary Carson. It's an honor to be part of this year's program and help the Secretary present these prestigious awards to all these well-deserving HUD employees. Our winners have been selected in several categories, but we want to applaud all our nominees. This year, we received over 200 nominations from program offices, both in headquarters and in the field. So thank you. Okay, let's get started. Our first group of recipients will be honored for the National Disaster Distinguished Service Award. Recipients of this award are being recognized for their extraordinary service and/or exceptional achievement directly related to HUD's response or recovery efforts following a presidentially declared major disaster. We have 4 winners for this prestigious award, but let me tell you about them first. Nilsa E. Negron, Public and Indian Housing, Caribbean. Ms. Negron is a portfolio manager specialist in the Caribbean Field Office of Field Operations, PIH. Nilsa volunteered to represent our public housing liaison during the January 2020 earthquake disaster event and developed creative solutions during the response disaster time related to rehouse federally and non-federal assisted families in our communities. She was able to help close to more than 504 families affected from our public housing / Section 8 program, in addition to the multifamily and including local families not under federally assisted housing were assisted too. Let's recognize this effort as an exemplary action, providing services to the most vulnerable families affected by the earthquakes. Group Award for the OASA COVID-19, Office of Administration in Headquarters.
Greetings. It is with great pleasure that I take this time to recognize dedicated members of the Office of Administration for their hard work during the COVID-19 pandemic. During this unprecedented time, we've all been impacted by the virus. We've been forced to adjust to new ways of functioning, both personally and professionally. As the crisis rapidly changed our work environment, the Office of Administration went above and beyond to support our business partners, ensure operations continued with minimal disruption, and put processes in place to guarantee the health and safety of HUD employees. Just to highlight a few accomplishments, the admin team coordinated disaster management efforts by continually maintaining situational awareness at the national level and providing daily updates to HUD senior leadership. Developed workplace hiring flexibilities under the CARES Act to respond to the changing environment and provide necessary supplies and services to ensure HUD offices were safe and secure. I would like to express my gratitude to the entire team for the hard work you've done and continue to do. Please continue to stay safe, and thank you.
The honorees for the Office of the Assistant Secretary for Administration Group Award are Zachary Barnes, Janice Boyd, Nelson Burgon, Tiffany Cobb, Chad Cohen, Ben DeMarzo, Carlos Dominguez, Linda Hawkins, Beth Hendricks, Rena Holland, Lorraine Jameson, Evelyn Lim, Monica Matthews, Laura McClure, Matisha Montgomery, Stephen Murphy, Carlos Rodriguez, Mike Shemani, Elisa Scott, Joe Sullivan, Lisa Surplus, and Faith Washington.
Patricia Ojeda Gomez, Public and Indian Housing, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Patricia Gomez exhibited outstanding leadership in planning, organizing, and directing a coordinated disaster response and assisting communities affected by the COVID-19 closures. Patricia utilized technology such as the local media and Facebook to inform the community of the free food distribution provided to persons in need. Ms. Gomez's creative solutions to a significant challenge due to COVID-19 has provided hope to the most vulnerable in our community. COVID-19, hospitals, Office of Housing, headquarters, regions 2, 4, 5, 6, and 10.
Hello, I'm Jeff Papsco, Director of the Office of Hospital Facilities. Today, I'm honored to have an opportunity to highlight the extraordinary efforts of the dedicated staff within the 242 program here at HUD. As the COVID-19 outbreak began in March of 2020, our program mission suddenly changed. Our new mission was to help hospitals who were facing a humanitarian and financial crisis created seemingly overnight by the COVID-19 outbreak. I'm very proud to report that all of the hospital program staff were outstanding representatives of FHA and were personally invested in ensuring every hospital was contacted and heard the message that FHA and its senior leadership team, we're here to help them with any needs they may have. Their efforts resulted in an immediate financial support that permitted hospitals to secure life-saving supplies and equipment and created a bridge to Federal CARES Act funding. Most importantly, however, their efforts helped save countless lives. To all the hospital program staff, congratulations on this well-deserved recognition for your amazing work. Thank you.
The honorees for this group award are Zara Afkari, Chris Osberger, Nick Baki, Gary Broadwater, Angela Byrne, Cherokee Denkley, Chris Ganesh, Paul Giadrone, Yvonne Harley, Gordon Hill, Bola Ng, Lisa Johnson, Catherine Killing, Richard Leishner, Roger Lukoff, Shelley McCracken Reyna, Ramona Mitchell, Morgan Ogbano, Jeffrey Papsco, James Pugh, Dickie Sanford, Joan Schmidt-Dickey, Lincoln Shee, Gary Smith, John Stent, Jacqueline Talbot, Stephen Wang. Let's congratulate all winners. All winners today will receive a commemorative coin and certificate of award.
The honorees in the next category are all comprised of group winners. This award is for exceptional field operations, and our group winners are Foster Youth to Independence Initiative Rollout, Public and Indian Housing Headquarters in Fort Worth, Texas, HUD's Foster Youth to Independence FYI initiative provides targeted vouchers to young adults 18 to 24 who are leaving or have left foster care and are homeless or at risk at experiencing homelessness. FYI is a partnership between public housing agencies and public child welfare agencies to provide a platform for achieving self-sufficiency by ensuring these youths obtain suitable housing, avoid homelessness, and access supportive services.
Hello, today we are here at the Pleasant Ridge Community Center in Pittsburgh. And our focus is on foster youth to independence. You know, this has been the 1-year anniversary of the start of that program. And it has just blossomed magnificently throughout the country. You know, it started with a few young people who were aging out of foster care. They actually came to HUD, told us their story. We were very impressed. They were very articulate, but they also made it very clear that this was a major problem with 20,000 young people aging out every single year, being left in many cases with absolutely no support system whatsoever. A quarter of those over the next 4 years would end up homeless. Even a larger number than that would end up inadequately housed.
The honorees for this group award are Leah Anderson, Michelle Daniels, Adrian Datcher, Charles Eldridge, Deborah Farson, Miguel Fontanez, Felicia Gaither, Rudy Garcia, and Ryan Jones.
Telework during the pandemic. Office of the Chief Information Officer, all regions.
I am Kevin Cook, and I am the Principal Deputy CIO here at HUD. And on behalf of myself and our CIO, David Chow, I want to send a warm congratulations to our field group who performed exceptionally during the beginning of this COVID, and they continue to. And what they have done is remarkable in terms of being able to make sure that all of our employees are telework ready, that any issues have been taken care of, and that they have been able to provide that support and make this transition for all of us into remote work as seamless as possible. So again, congratulations to Debbie Jankowski and all of the folks in the field on this Exceptional Field Operations Award. Again, on behalf of myself and David Chow, our CIO, congratulations and thank you for everything you do.
The honorees for this group award are Rolando Alomar, Rick Betchel, Charlie Bragg, Raymond Chan, Joan Shernan, James Comparto, Nicole Baca, Brent Erickson, Dennis Fields, Paul Gates, Vern Gray, Randy Green, Rob Harris, Frank Holly, Matt Jackson, Debbie Jankowski, Wayne Genevane, Paris Nartwala, Miriam Kupperstein, David Lee, Mina Lee, John Lee, Kit Lee, Crandall Lewis, Julie Manning, Michael J. Martinez, Diego Madewell, Sharon McLaughlin, Bill Murray, Danny Myers, Narun Nahar, Mark Ohl, Lynn Revels, Sheila Sheik, Amy Spandy, James Stewart, Donna Strickland, Troy Tabar, Trom Trin, Tanaya Usher, Nick Velacrucis, Bruce Watkins, Mike Welsh.
COVID-19 Field Team, Community Planning and Development.
COVID-19 has impacted all of us, but none so deeply as our most vulnerable populations, the same populations CPD representatives and our grantees work with every day. It was with incredible gratitude that 4 other CPD field office directors and I came together to nominate fellow CPD Director Katie Burke and the COVID-19 CPD field team for this award. A small group of CPD experts from the field were assembled by the SNAP's office and the CPD Office of Field Management to fill an urgent need, to deliver quick and clear information, training, and TA products directly to CPD field staff across the country. This knowledge and information passed along peer-to-peer, CPD rep to CPD rep, enabled the field to equip cities, counties, states, and nonprofits to prepare for and respond to the impacts of COVID-19, especially in the homeless and low-income communities. Whether creating and delivering national trainings to hundreds of staff and thousands of grantees, highlighting crucial information in a weekly email, advising on TA, or streamlining processes, the team was up to the challenge, all while continuing to complete their regular work. This was on-the-fly, critical thinking and problem-solving at its best, in a time when we need it most. Thank you to the COVID-19 CPD field team, and congratulations for this award.
The honorees for this group award are Katie Burke, Jill Casey, Heather Grant, Don Horgan, Aaron Weaver, and Amy Uhas.
Continuity of operations during coronavirus pandemic, Office of the General Counsel, Region 2.
The honorees for this group award are Brenda Larrabee, Shirlene Peterson, Jennifer Propis, and Stephanie Wright.
Improving public housing agency performance by decreasing insolvency, Public and Indian Housing, Office of Field Operations, Group Award.
The PIH Deputy Secretaries for REACT, the Office of Field Operations, and the Office of Public Housing and Voucher Programs acknowledge the exceptional collaboration of their teams to improve the financial position of public housing agencies. Congratulations to the OFO, QASS, QAD, and FMD team members who participated in activities that led to 153 PHAs no longer being designated as financially insolvent.
My name is Yolanda Carter, and I'm a first-time homeowner. I come from a large family. I grew up in the East End of Louisville. I was homeless for a little while, not sure where I was going to live when I left my husband. I lived with 3 of my family members before I got my own place because each situation was only temporarily, and I never wanted to be a burden on nobody. To live with someone else under their house and you're a grown person, it's the hardest thing in the world. It's horrible to go have to sleep in your niece's bed, on the couch in the basement. And you know that even though family members are there to help you, they only want you there for so long. I just went online, low-income houses, and I started calling and asking. Going through the housing program, they answered my questions. If I needed to talk to my counselor one-on-one, I was able to do that. It made me build a better relationship to trust somebody to talk about my finance and not to be embarrassed about my finance. I moved into California Square, which is a senior housing. And it was really the first time I ever lived by myself. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be too proud to ask for help. It's not easy all the time. Don't give up. And always have confidence in yourself and don't let nobody stop you from your goals or your dreams.
How is that for exceptional? Let's give them all a HUD-inspired round of applause. Thank you to all the teams for this awards category. Let's welcome Minyar Culpepper to present the next 2 award categories.
Thank you, Joe. Now we will hear from our Master of Ceremony in Region 1 Regional Council, Minyard Culpepper.
Thank you, Joe. We know that the Secretary's Award is always exciting and really a distinguished time for HUD employees. I have the pleasure of presenting the Distinguished Service Award. This honorary award is generally given to career or non-career employees who have rendered extraordinary service or who have made exceptional achievement, which has benefited the department. We have 3 honorees in this category. Our first group award winners from headquarters. HUD Automated Projects earned top spots at Innovation Challenge, the Office of Chief Financial Officer, and Community Planning and Development.
Appreciate receiving this Distinguished Service Award, and I want to thank my team for all the great efforts over the last 2.5 years. And when we started the finance transformation and IT modernization efforts within the CFO shop, our team really stepped up to the plate and have done a lot of great imaginative things. And it's being recognized by the AGA and a couple of other agencies outside of HUD. We've done a great job. Our team has done a great job of being innovative, adopting new processes, adopting robotics and other forms of artificial intelligence and automation within our processes that are making us much more effective. So a big shout out to our team. Everyone's doing a great job, and I thank you for embracing change and making HUD a great place to work. Thank you.
The honorees for this group award are Lisa Abel, Scott Barber, Gabriella Sheepy, Irving Dennis, William Goldford, Pizai Hansick, Gerald Height, Melajo Kubaki, Larry Koshkin, Lori Mikowski, Heather Rasmussen, and Anthony Smith.
The next winner is also a group award, Argus, Community Planning and Development, the Office of Chief Information Officer at Headquarters, and Public and Indian Housing, and that's the field.
I am honored to present Argus on behalf of my team. I'd also like to recognize those staff in CPD program offices and headquarters in the field without whose input and support Argus would not be possible. Argus is a system designed to replace the existing risk analysis process used by CPD to determine which grantees will be monitored each year. Using system extracted data, Argus will generate a risk ranking as well as a robust dashboard that will not only define specific risk factors, but also historical and comparative data as well. CPD currently expends about $1.9 million annually in work hours to conduct a risk analysis of about 5,800 risk worksheets, taking about 3 to 4 months to generate the results. Upon full implementation, we are estimating that Argus will reduce the time to complete a worksheet from 4.5 hours on average to less than an hour, with results available in less than 1 month. Upon full implementation, Argus will not only automate the existing process, reducing the manual work that's done in the field, but will also generate results quicker, which will allow us to load level monitoring more evenly across the year. We truly believe that Argus will transform risk mitigation for the department. We thank you for the award and the recognition.
The honorees for this group award are Lisa Abel, Mike Connor, Wendell Connor, Pi Hamsick, Gerald Height, Larry Koskinen, Deidre McGuire, Lori Mikowski, Mark Mitchell, and Carissa Riddle.
Our next honoree was the Regional Director for the Office of Fair Housing and Equal Opportunity for 19 years and was with Fair Housing for approximately 42 years. Sadly, Gary Sweeney passed away from cancer in March of this year, but his impact on the region and FHEO as a whole is reflected by this posthumous nomination. During his tenure, Gary oversaw some of the most complicated and noteworthy matters Fair Housing has ever had to address. covering multiple natural disasters, several lawsuits against HUD or its recipients, charges for predatory lending cases, municipal service complaints, zoning land use complaints, including one of the biggest settlements involving sexual harassment of its time. His leadership and mentorship has propelled his staff into leadership positions throughout HUD. In the words of John Quincy Adams, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader. This was Gary. Gary was a true leader. Congratulations, Gary L. Sweeney, Fair Housing and Equal Opportunities Headquarters. What a fine group of winners. Now, won't you help me, along with Secretary Ben Carson and Deputy Secretary Brian Montgomery, recognize the Employee of the Year. Recipients of this award have made significant contributions in support of the department's mission through exceptional collaboration with stakeholders or expanding internal and/or external partnership efforts that result in significant outcomes. This year, we have 6 winners. Angela Collier, Office of Housing.
Hello, I'm Philip Head, the Asset Management Director for the Office of Residential Care Facilities. I have the privilege of honoring Angela Collier, one of our healthcare team's outstanding workload managers, for this Employee of the Year recognition. As our country went into lockdown from COVID-19, we quickly realized that this would be an unprecedented time of serious challenge for the elder care industry, which is so seriously impacted by the virus. Each day brings new challenges that require our staff to think out of the box and to act swiftly and decisively to serve the public and ultimately to save lives. One such challenge came to Angela Collier, and she stepped up to do just that. The Unity Hospital of Rochester, New York requested a unique approval to expand its hospital beds by converting 2 empty floors of another HUD-insured nursing home into hospital patient care units. This would allow the hospital to treat many more serious COVID and intensive care unit patients. In just 12 short hours, Angela addressed a whole host of legal and programmatic concerns and was able to relay the good news that the hospital expansion would move forward. Angela's quick and decisive action is a credit to HUD, and she has set a fine standard for responsiveness in a critical situation. On behalf of our greater healthcare team, we couldn't be more proud of you, Angela.
Michael Dennis, Public and Indian Housing. Mike is a 30-year veteran of HUD and has spent much of his career in PIH, currently serving as a senior advisor to the Deputy Assistant Secretary for the Office of Public Housing and Housing Choice Voucher Programs. He's an exceptional public servant who believes in good governance and oversight with a focus on keeping families safe and stably housed. In one of his many roles, he drafted and edited the COVID-19 waiver notice that implemented the PIH CARES Act statutory and regulatory waiver provisions in under 1 month after the CARES Act legislation was passed. A tremendous accomplishment, as PIH had never been given that level of flexibility in the law. Whether Mike is resolving a difficult situation, leading an effort on legislative analysis, drafting a notice, or simply being a member of a team, his professionalism, diligence, analytical skills, and collegiality makes him an invaluable asset to HUD. Greg Hoyt, Office of the Chief Information Officer.
Cook, and I am the Principal Deputy CIO here at HUD. On behalf of myself and our CIO, David Chow, want to send a warm congratulations to Greg Hoyt for his Secretary's Award as Employee of the Year. Greg has done a lot of great work in bridging the gap between our office and the PIH Office of Native and American Programs. And so in this role, he's been the primary project manager that has engaged with that office and made sure that the automation needs required by ONAP have been seamlessly taken care of in bridging the gap and working well between employees, between the Office of the CIO, and of course, the great folks doing the program work under PIH ONAP. Again, congratulations, Greg, on being an Employee of the Year recognized by the Secretary. Thanks again.
Hello, I am Lorraine Jameson, the Director for Paid Benefits and Retirement Division. It is with great pleasure that I nominated my employee, Robin Calloway, Lead HR Specialist, for the 2020 Secretary's Award for Employee of the Year. In addition to performing her job at an exemplary level, Robin demonstrates an extraordinary commitment to providing the best customer service to our clients at all levels. She has been influential in providing consistent advice and support that have always been efficient, timely, and accurate. During my absence, she led the team during a critical time when COVID-19 initially impacted our federal government. The resources were not conducive to the increased COVID workload. Her leadership abilities evaluated the gaps that were known and strategized a plan to meet the required needs for leadership and our customers. Robin stayed current with the latest regulation for the Family First Emergency Leave Act by reviewing and interpreting to properly communicate the guidance to our customers. She represents Ochiko well as she continues to strive for excellence. Thank you, Robin, for your commitment and service.
Danielle Tolliver, Office of Administration. Mrs. Danielle Tolliver exemplifies the virtues of a dedicated, hardworking civil servant and has gone over and above simply volunteering to take on the responsibility of managing the processes of this significant project with very little to no comprehensive knowledge of the requirements to perform the duties successfully. Ms. Tolliver's dedication and achievement from the start to current, and I mean ongoing projects, has been impressive with major results and savings to the agency. Katrina Durback, Office of Housing.
Hello, I'm Joe Gormley, the Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Office of Single Family Housing. I'm pleased to join you to recognize Katrina Durback for receiving the Secretary's Employee of the Year Award. Katrina has spearheaded critical policy initiatives for 2 offices within single family that includes a wholesale revision of the servicing loss mitigation section of the Single Family Housing Handbook. She authored several policies related to the COVID-19 national emergency that were designed to provide much-needed relief to Americans suffering effects of the pandemic. Katrina also developed new policies under HUD's Housing Finance Reform Plan that will significantly reduce losses to the Mutual Mortgage Insurance Fund. I could go on and on about her accomplishments, but I'll end with this. On behalf of Single Family and FHA, we'd like to congratulate Katrina on this well-deserved award. We're so proud to have you as a colleague.
Well, it's been an honor and a privilege to help recognize and congratulate our honorees. We know that they have all worked hard, and we know that all of HUD's employees deserve recognition. But we thank the ones that were nominated and the ones that were given awards today, but we know that they have given above and beyond the call of duty. Thank you once again for giving me the opportunity to make these awardee announcements today.
Let's give Minyard a round of applause for helping with our ceremony. And our next 2 awards will be presented by Region 4 Administrator and Mistress of Ceremony, Denise Cleveland Leggett.
Thank you, Minyard. It's a pleasure to be here today to extend these awards to our employees at HUD. But more importantly, we want to thank those employees for making the lives of all the people that we serve better through their service. Now it is time to honor our employees who consistently display passion about their jobs. They are committed to the organization and demonstrate service and excellence, innovation, dedication to their work, organization, and the mission. The next award category, we will be honoring the Engagement Award. Let's present our 4 winners in this category, in no particular order, for the outstanding engagement with our agency, employees, and stakeholders. Our first winner is a group award, the engagement of ORHED, Community Planning and Development Headquarters.
Hello, HUD family. My name is Jovette Gadsden, representing the Office of Rural Housing and Economic Development, led by Director Jackie Williams. Our team, affectionately known as the Fab Five, serves 60 million Americans living in rural and underserved communities nationwide. Through our Rural Gateway website and toll-free number, as well as 2 grant programs, we provide critical information and funding to these vulnerable communities. During COVID, we have worked with our partners at VA and USDA to share best practices, information, and grants to help those most in need. We've held peer-to-peer listening sessions with our grantees to learn how we can best serve them. With this information, we have retooled our Rural Gateway website to provide timely CARES Act information as well as other HUD resources. And we're also in daily contact with our grantees, supporting them as they pivot to emergency response activities. We are proud to be working with those on the front line in our rural communities, and we are proud to be a face of HUD to those serving those most in need.
Honorees for this group award are Richard Bernard, Jovette Gadsden, Ingrid S. Osborne, Lisa Peebles, Tina Strong, Jackie Williams, and Fan Young.
Our next honoree, Ingrid S. Osborne, Office of General Counsel, Jacksonville, Florida. Year over year, Ms. Osborne demonstrates her unique ability to positively and leverage human capital to engage, empower, and inspire her subordinates, peers, and colleagues, offering passion, creativity, and empathy. In her nearly 25 years of service to HUD, Ms. Osborne is consistently recognized by her supervisors, co-workers, and subordinates, as well as external HUD partners, as someone who is willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. Ingrid's intentional approach enables her to leverage a diverse team of attorneys to advance HUD's mission while inspiring excellence, diversity, and inclusion as an exemplary role model for her staff. Ms. Osborne is an asset to attorneys and program clients within Region 4 and across the country. Our next honoree, Donald R. Cole, Office of Housing, Chicago, Illinois. Donald is an asset resolution specialist in Chicago. He is a consistent champion in his commitment to training others while addressing issues at multiple troubled properties. Mr. Cole has been instrumental in identifying deficiencies in projects and in housing that were once considered troubled and successfully working with stakeholders to develop housing conditions that are decent and safe. Through his work and research into senior properties finances, HUD was able to recover over $300,000. And finally, this award winner is Tina Strong, Office of the General Counsel, Atlanta, Georgia. Tina M. Strong creates a positive environment and celebrates success of HUD programs through encouragement and acknowledgement of all team members for the results they achieve, the value they add, and their impact on the mission. Tina's leadership, mentoring, coaching, and training efforts in Region 4 and nationwide go above and beyond the call of duty to drive behavior to both increase satisfaction and decrease dissatisfaction through emphasis on providing help, inspiration, and recognition to employees or groups as seen in their many collaborative efforts. She is a frequent instructor at HUD's annual closing schools and supports programs to achieve work-life balance while maintaining accountability. Our next category of recognition for today's ceremony is Outstanding Leadership. This award recognizes employees who are extraordinary leaders, visionaries, change agents, and embrace HUD's core values. We will recognize 2 award levels in this category: Seasoned and Rising Leaders. Seasoned leader Lisa T. Surplus, Office of the Chief Human Capital Office, Albany, New York. Lisa T. Surplus is a long-standing champion of employee engagement and establishing a positive, interactive, and functional atmosphere where employees can have a high level of productivity, professionalism, and strong development. Lisa led the effort in OFSS in coordination with headquarters to ensure that during the time of COVID-19 and 100% telework, all regional and field office functions and services were addressed while staff were away. These needs were vast and ranged from safety and security mitigation specific to the pandemic to coordinating with CDC, FEMA, GSA, OPM, and USPS. Because of her proficient knowledge of regional and field offices, she was able to anticipate circumstances that would greatly impact the ability for a fully functional office to respond to our public and to carry out the mission of the department on a daily basis. Rising leader Tasha LaShore, Public and Indian Housing, Nashville, Tennessee. Currently acting director of the Southeast Network, Tasha LaShore leads 12 PIH field offices under the direction of 9 directors, 9 division directors, and 123 staff members throughout 8 states, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. With the highest priority set as repositioning and employee engagement in 2020 and 2019, Tasha's offices top both categories, fueled by her open-minded approach, flexibility, and thoughtful guidance, which empowers others, trusting their judgment, thus unleashing and recognizing the talents of many. As a role model, positively impacting morale and serving as a remarkable source of inspiration to others, Ms. LaShore clearly epitomizes the traits of an outstanding leader and management excellence. Seasoned leader Cheryl L. Johnson, Office of General Counsel, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Cheryl L. Johnson, Regional Counsel, is recognized for her extraordinary leadership skills, visionary work as a change agent, and as an employee who embraces and embodies HUD's core values. Ms. Johnson's career includes 34 years of outstanding service working in HUD's Office of General Counsel and for HUD grantees. Cheryl has more than 3 decades of providing sound legal advice, promoting collaboration and compliance within HUD's programs, working for HUD and HUD's grantees, embodying managerial leadership within HUD, and shaping the next generation of HUD attorneys. Rising leader William A. Levy from the Office of Housing. Will is a division director in the Office of Recapitalization at headquarters. He was instrumental in standing up the RAD program, which allows public housing to convert to Section 8 contracts. His commitment to the residents and families shapes the policy he writes, which creates thousands of affordable apartments each year. He finds ways to maximize every existing tool and program we have for preserving affordable housing, impacting the lives of people and the communities that we serve. Let's give them all a round of applause. What a group of extraordinary employees. Congratulations to every one of you. And now it's time for the pinnacle award of today's ceremony. I give you Secretary Ben Carson to present the Secretary's Award for Excellence.
And now we will present the Secretary's Award for Excellence. This is the highest award.
Now, I'm pleased to present the winners of the Secretary's Award for Excellence to the following honorees: Felicia Gaither in Public and Indian Housing.
As head of the Office of Field Operations in Public and Indian Housing, Felicia Gaither leads a team of hundreds of HUD employees committed to increasing housing and self-sufficiency opportunities for low-income, very low-income, disabled, elderly, and homeless individuals, families, and veterans. In this role, Felicia goes above and beyond every day. Felicia's mandate for a culture of accountability is embraced and implemented fully by her senior management team. Her innovative leadership is key to bringing underserved populations to independence and stabilization. Felicia successfully leads her team to connect HUD headquarters to local public housing agencies and ultimately to those served under public housing and voucher assistance programs.
Peter J. Reed in the Office of the Chief Information Officer.
This award is in recognition of Peter J. Reed's significant contribution in administering the department's information technology programs and services, and for his distinguished service, outstanding leadership, and support to the Office of the Secretary. Peter's professional dedication, ability to persevere under tremendous pressure, and seasoned expertise on such a broad range of information technology issues have been a great help in providing strong leadership and direction for the department. Mr. Reed's technical advice in resolving IT problems has been superb, and he has always maintained the highest standard of integrity regarding the information technology programs, demonstrating exceptional skills in his support of the Office of the Chief Information Officer, the agency departmental program, and its field offices, receiving numerous comments of praise and letters of appreciation from many of the department's senior leader executives.
On behalf of myself and David Chow, our CIO, I want to send a great congratulations to Pete Reed for the Secretary's Award of Excellence. Pete has served in this capacity as the major liaison between our office and the Secretary's office, making sure that all of the executive staff and the political staff are taken well taken care of, and providing that kind of leadership to his team every single day here at headquarters. Pete's done a great job for a number of years, and it's awesome that he's being recognized with this highest award, the Secretary's Award of Excellence, for all of the great work that he's done with our executive staff as well as everyone else in leading our help desk. Congratulations again, Pete, and thanks for everything you do.
Patricia McGarvey Nebels in the Office of the General Counsel.
Demonstrated support for HUD's joint initiative with the Department of Justice to combat sexual harassment in housing in support of Attorney General William P. Barr's instructions to U.S. Attorney's offices across the country to investigate reports of housing-related sexual harassment resulting from the current COVID-19 pandemic. Ms. McGarvey-Nebels embodies what it means to be a passionate advocate of safe housing.
And Gerald A. Smith in the Office of Housing.
Gerald A. Smith is a branch chief in Chicago. He worked tirelessly with his team to preserve the Greenwood Manor apartments. His efforts in turning around a troubled property potentially saved 108 units of affordable housing, allowing families to stay in their homes. He exhibited outstanding teamwork and leadership, driving 180 miles to conduct a site visit and speak personally with tenants, the owner, and building maintenance staff.
Brad Rader in the Office of General Counsel.
Brad Rader, Office of the General Counsel. For almost 20 years, Brad Ratter had gone above and beyond the call of public service in support of the department's mission, programmatic priorities, and special initiatives, especially in the area of multifamily housing, nursing homes, senior housing, and housing for people with disabilities. Brad's exceptional service and leadership that is distinguished by marked achievements of significance reflect great credit to HUD's mission, his service in the Secretary's chairmanship of the White House Opportunity and Revitalization Council, as well as his leadership in the Office of the General Counsel's Legal Honors Intern Program Task Force, demonstrate impactful, quantifiable improvements that further HUD's mission or strategic objectives. Mr. Ratter's extraordinary commitment to HUD's mission and priorities makes him worthy of the Secretariat's Award for Excellence. Congratulations, Brad.
Congratulations to you all. On behalf of the American people, I thank you for your service and your commitment and extend my warmest congratulations to this year's winners. Thank you. And now I'm pleased to welcome Deputy Secretary Brian Montgomery to say a few words.
Well, thank you, Secretary Carson. Congratulations again to our winners of the Secretary's Award for Excellence. That is a very special group, one which HUD cannot do without, and a fitting way to round out this important occasion. You have been an inspiration to each of us as we return to our work and to our mission with a renewed sense of purpose and dedication. I do want to offer a special word of thanks to everyone who helped make this ceremony possible, especially our committee members whose names appear on the screen. A tremendous amount of work went into making this event possible and, in fact, making it meaningful, unique, and, in my view, quite exceptional. I'll just close this extraordinary event out with one bit of housekeeping news. As a gentle reminder, the Federal Employee Viewpoint Survey, or FEVS, is the most comprehensive instrument used to understand the challenges you face and what we can do to support you in accomplishing our mission. This year's survey has been streamlined to include COVID-19 wellness questions. We look forward to receiving your candid and constructive feedback on your work experiences when you receive this year's survey, we've been told in a few short weeks. But thank you again for your participation and have a great rest of the day.
Thank you everyone for attending the 2020 Secretary's Award Ceremony. Have a great day.